If there's anybody to say Merry Christmas to, I'm still on this 25th day of December. We are still in recovery mode in Abaco. While everybody's partying, there's a lot of us that don't have the simple pleasure of having a key to a door. There's still many of us, thousands, that doesn't have a pillow to lay our head on, nor less a bed. We have had some brutal weather in Abaco for the last 3 days leading up to the 25th. And a lot of people that thought they had their homes secure, the wind blew the ice water shield off. 30 to 50 gust knot wind blew the ice water shield off, and torrentious hurricane rain poured back onto our dry floors, dry homes once again, the one that had a little bit of security with the ice water shield. So this is not a good Christmas for Abaco nor Abaconians. While our illustrious Prime Minister is enjoying the ambience of Abaco in a safe place, we are still out in the cold. And I just want to say thank God for the Americans, the water mission. You imagine in my district, we still don't have water. We still don't have power. And these Americans have set up a water distribution while the government of the Bahamas just signed a contract for the water in Abaco. And they were so proud of those people that rode this painting of the horse on the water system, but yet they cannot get water. You imagine people come all the way from America and can turn salt water into good, fresh drinking water, and we can't even turn on the water 4 months in my district. Water. So I want to thank them. I want to thank the food kitchen, the food mission that feed hundreds of people every day. Where's my social service? My social service got people lined up there for hours trying to give them $150 a day, and they only gain about 30 people $150 a day after 4 months. But the food mission, you could come there and eat as much as you can every day since the hurricane, and my government haven't done anything to try to complement that. Nothing they've set up. I want to thank the people that are there fixing the roofs, repairing the roof, going into your homes and gutting your house out. You imagine these American women, most of them women, are putting masks on, going into the house and gutting your house, while our defense force is up there on the Yama Place with Commodore Simmons riding around in brand new red truck, harassing, intimidating, and stealing from people. You imagine these white women gutting out your house while at the primary school, the defense force is there to embarrass, insult, to protect the ice water shield, over 200 rolls of them, over 100 sheet of plywoods. The defense force there to pull gun on you if you try to remove them to secure your homes. The defense force is there when I go to take a picture of the generators at Friendship Tabernacle. They want to discamera me and ask me why am I taking picture of our generators, that I could tell the people what's going on and show them what type of generator. Our defense force want to discamera me and threaten me because I take a video. You imagine the white people up there are gutting the households while the defense force, when they go to a a Christmas party that was supposed to be for Darren Henfield. I found out that it was nothing to do with Darren Henfield. It was the people of Marshall and the Americans that got it together. And they want to tell me, Kai Mills, behave myself as an elected person. The defense force who are there working for Kai Mills to protect and to serve, I pay their salary. And they're giving me orders when it should be the other way around. They're working for me, the Bahamian people. And they're going to tell me, behave myself in my town after going through a Category 5 hurricane, after losing my mother, after losing my house, after losing my vehicle, after losing my job, after losing my township. The defense force is the most intimidating force in Abaco. While the white folks are gutting our place out, they are doing nothing but interfering with our freedom of movement. That is unacceptable. And I hope that the minister would have stepped in by now. But they only step in when a white person comes into the meeting and curse profanity. Then our illustrious Prime Minister order an investigation right away. But when Kai Mills complain, they laugh. Or they feel him up good for him. I am also a Bahamian. I am also elected to my district of Dundastan. How dare these Defense Force officers come into my town and disrespect me as an elected person? Christmas would have been so much better if we had somebody that is sitting at the table, if we had some kind of representation, some type of member of parliament. You imagine the government of the Bahamas is spending $5+ million for a temporary shelter in Spring City. Question, what are they going to do with these temporary shelters after the place get up and running? Should the government throw away $5 million on a temporary shelters? Everybody in Spring City know if the government would have put $5 million of supply on the ground in Spring City, it would rebuild every home in Spring City that was destroyed, and you would have had $3 million plus money left over. Why is the government spending $5 million on something temporary to throw away? That means they're throwing away $5 million when it could go into permanent structure. You don't need no temporary nothing. Then I looked at the $17 million that just was allocated for drones. Bahamas, the second busiest airport, the second busiest money-making island in the country, was destroyed. You know what $17 million would have done for us for Christmas? If they would have put that $17 million on the ground to help the people that was affected. For some reason, I think that the government want to encourage us not to go to Abaco. Because the $17 million that they spend on the drone, the Haitians going to still come into Inagua, into Nassau. That is a waste of $17 million. And this is not the time to allocate $17 million when your fellow Bahamians that voted F&M, Darren won by 2,000, James won by 3,000 votes. These are the people that got you the government, and you haven't spent $1 million on them. You have already spent $7 million on the mud and the peas. Add the numbers. 17 million on drones, 7 million on the peas, $5 million on the temporary shelters in Spring City, millions of dollars on the tents that they're living in, the trailers. All of this money has been spent without any care for the people that are being affected. When, oh when, is the government gonna sit at the table with Abaconians and say, this is what we're gonna do for Abaconians? What has happened to all the millions and millions of dollars that were allocated for Abaco? We are still can't even get generators. All the millions. What is happening with that money on Christmas? Would have been beautiful if there would have been 500 generators from the money that were collected for Abaconians. If that would have been given away on Christmas Day, that would have been a plus. It would have been a plus on Christmas Day if the government of the Bahamas would have put $1 million of ice water shield, plywood, and shingles and nails on the ground of Abaco on Christmas Day. That would have been so much beneficial to Abaconians. And we could have said, truly, this is a caring government. This is a government that's truly about the people. But they show that they don't care. They put a dump, a garbage collection in the front of the newest homes that were built in Spring City. They put it less than a mile across the street from Spring City. So of course, if the wind is blowing out the east to the west, they are smelling the debris from all the dangerous stuff that they say they collecting, all the dangerous stuff that they say in the debris. Why is the government poisoning people by putting the debris collection right across from one of the most beautiful community in Abaco, Spring City, that has the newest government-built homes? Why? Tell me why. Why haven't the government, the prime minister, while he's there having his turkey and ham and Abaco, haven't sit down to the people that has been mostly affected? Dundastown, Murphytown, Marshall, and Central Pine got slammed. The prime minister, they're in harm. They went all around. But to date, 4 months in, they haven't spoken to the people of Marshall, haven't touched the debris on Pelican Shores. Marshall is still a mess. Right up to the gate of Maxwell Supermarket, the ground is, half of the road is full of debris as we speak on Christmas Day. They haven't spoke to Marshall, Dundas, Murphy, or Central Pine. My message is that we need a caring government. So far, that is not happening. 17 million on drone, 5 million on temporary shelters. 5 million could do so much for the whole district. 7 million on fencing and cleaning up the mud. But yet, to date, this government, this people's government, haven't spent $1 million of our money that was collected on behalf of us. We haven't seen $1 in the district of Abaco Central. Merry Christmas to you, Prime Minister. You're doing such a beautiful job. May God be with you until we meet again.